everybody and welcome to Amphlett Reviews, back with another Japanese deep dive and another test disc review for ARRIVIDEO's upcoming release of Audition on a brand new 4K restoration on the 15th of June 2026. Very exciting to kind of get a further brand new restoration work from ARRIVIDEO. I do previously own the original Blu-ray Steelbook edition from way back when, which does feature the Blu-ray and the DVD included. A really solid release. I really like this edition. It's been out for quite some time now, but I think it's time to kind of get a brand new upgrade. And in terms of the kind of the 4K restoration work, straight off the bat, I definitely think it's a good improvement over the initial Blu-ray, which I think is about, 10 years old now. I definitely would say the 4K restoration is a really good step up and quite a big improvement over the old Blu-ray edition, much like the previous J-horror films like The Grudge or The Ring, can keep in the kind of original intention of the color grade and the style of what the film is, being the fact this film is a certain kind of look to it. In terms of that kind of color grade, they definitely reserve that really well, and it definitely is just as horrifying and terrifying as it was way back when I got the original Blu-ray. So, and there is a brand new singular special feature included. They have imported all the special features previously from this release into this, so you do get brand new 4K transfer, a single new extra, and all the extras included from the original release. So definitely is worth considering in terms of a brand new upgrade, and you do get brand new artwork and a slipcase included. So without further ado, let's dive into the brand new 4K restoration of Audition. Audition, released in 1999, directed by Takashi Miike, which I've been going on a little bit of a journey with this director at the moment, diving into a lot of his previous older movies and some of his more modern ones, with 13 Assassins recently in terms of the remake he's done. Radiance put a really banger of release for the Underworld Chronicles, 3 of his more earlier films from the theatrical release. So it's definitely one of those directors that I really want to dive more into and really explore, and being the fact he's done over 100 plus films from the 90s all the way until now, still releasing films up until 2026. An incredible director that has a wonderful filmography of different types of films, from horror, like this one, psychological horror, just straight up gore effects, straight up gangster films, Yakuza, manga adaptations, comedies, all sorts of different types of genres, and definitely playing around with the sandbox in terms of his longer standing kind of filmography. We have the wonderful actress Aika Shina, if I said her name correctly, which plays the very psychopathic character in the film, who goes for this audition. As the title of the film references, we have Audition. Essentially what the storyline is, we have a lonely parent. We have someone who has lost his wife at the start of the film, which is shown very tragically. He's raised his son independently, as a single father, and basically his son is basically a teenager now, and pushing him to basically find a girlfriend to remarry. And basically he can't find anyone. He's very worn out, as his son kind of says. He has a producer friend who's working in the entertainment industry, who's got this great script for a kind of romantic kind of love story. So essentially what they do, they set up this idea. It's a bit cheeky, being honest, but it's an idea to try and meet a certain type of woman in a certain type of accomplishments and a background, and it gives him essentially a speed dating, while also the producer gets to make his film and cast the main leading actress. So you've got one sense of it being a audition for a film, and another audition for a potential partner that this main character, played by Ryo Shiashi, which is really good in the film. He's very much a very compassionate, very nice person, clearly cares for his son, and clearly cares for this woman as well. He basically comes across her kind of, resume, really connects with her, and this idea kind of like she lost her dream in terms of when she was younger, from 18 to become a ballerina, training, and then having an injury where she couldn't do it anymore. And he connects with her, and you're looking forward to seeing her audition leading up to that moment in the film. And this idea that the resume that she presented, the contacts and the information that she's provided is fraudulent, is not actually correct. And the more he digs into it, the more concerned he gets. And tries to warn his friend, saying like, maybe stay away from him for a little bit. There's something not quite right. He's giving you very limited, very specific information, and it's not stacking up. And he's kind of like head over in heels. He even says it to his friend at one point, saying, "You think I'm that gullible?" Yes, he is. And, he gets swept away by this 24-year-old, and, they have a genuine connection, and, he just want to know more about her, and, clearly she is lying because there is a dark, sinister kind of background behind her. And essentially what the film's going for, based on a novel as well, I may add, is essentially a dark psychological thriller with some horror elements to it. So if you're expecting like a Grudge level, if you're expecting like a J-horror, this is not the film. This is a slow burn to a certain extent, almost like a love story. It's actually kind of like a parody of itself in terms of the Audition script they're going for. Majority of the film is actually pretty well steadily paced. You get to know the characters, you get to know their situation, and suspicion starts to kind of rise up. As we know, all good things come to an end, and we're setting up for a classic misery situation, which even on the extras does acknowledge the fact that this is a kind of a reference kind of point to some of the reactions to some of the stuff that comes up later in the film. She is someone who is so scarred by her past, and this idea that I want you to love me, only me, no one else, and she is associating pain with love, essentially. Things start to really cook and start to escalate, and we get this wonderful, like, psychological dream sequence where he's essentially been drugged and paralyzed, and once he hits the floor, we get this series of kind of montage kind of locations and kind of going back to previous scenes and then being twisted and skewed, and information being revealed and in context of what's happened previously. It's a really great kind of like insight into his mindset, but also what has happened and the information that he has taken away. Quite unnerving, quite unsettling, and it really gets you into the atmosphere of what's happening. And of course, we get the big famous sequences, including the chi-chi-chi, the deeper deeper with the needles, and we get those kind of bone saw kind of ricochet of the legs, and it's really nasty and gruesome. And again, just down to the characters' kind of expressions, their reactions. The main actress is kind of like shy but innocent but psychopathic. I'm going to cut your leg off now kind of thing. It's really kind of gets you in there, kind of leaves you in a state of what the fuck just happened, and it kind of is a little bit of a cautionary tale. It's a little bit of a kind of a sympathetic, viewpoint. She does have some trauma, she does have a past, and unfortunately she lashed it out in very extreme kind of ways. And I've got more subtleties, more information each time I watch it, and thanks to the new 4K restoration, I think it looks as best as it possibly can do on this kind of format. In terms of the special features for Audition, it might be something you've already seen previously on the original Audition Blu-ray, which has all been imported over on this version. We do have the same introduction by Takashi Miike, doing a bit of a kind of a spin, bit of a parody on Audition, about a minute and a bit, just talking about the kind of, at that point, probably when he filmed it, about like a 10-year anniversary. It's quite funny, it's quite charming, just basically saying, welcome to the Audition. It's pretty fun. We do have a brand new interview, an extra, only a 6 or 7 minute interview with Ryo Shibashi, which talks about his kind of still affiliation with the film and how much he still gets a lot of people coming up to him, talking about Audition, especially the chi-chi-chi kind of moments, the fact that he's experienced going international markets in terms of overseas, and how much random bits of stories he's come across. He's come across Quentin Tarantino in an Italian restaurant, and the fact that people really love this film. And he talks about it in terms of a really good experience making it, and his inspiration taking from Misery, which I think is quite cool. And it seems like he had a really good time making the film and also enjoying the kind of the fruits of it, going to America, going to the midnight kind of festivals. The rest of the special features are actually kind of all over different years in terms of the archival kind of nature and when they filmed them, some from 2013, some from 2016. It's kind of like random all over the place, but it's pretty fun. And they all offer some really good insight in terms of the film itself. We get a archival extra with Takashi Miike himself. We get a wonderful extra with Tony Raines, which I always enjoy seeing his extras because he's very insightful, definitely knows his stuff in terms of the history of the direct, what was going on during the time, the photography, how this film was put into place, the inspiration. He has a wealth of knowledge, and I really enjoy watching his extras and his insight into the film during that time. And it's about a 35-40 minute extra, which really goes a lot into Takashi Miike's kind of previous work. And we got an image gallery, we got a trailer, we got archival extras with the cast and crew themselves talking about the film. That's with my thoughts and impressions on Audition, the brand new 4K restoration. What are your thoughts, guys? Will we be picking this one up? Please comment down below. So meantime, guys, Amphlett Reviews, signing out.